You sure it's not your court?
Yo. We're coming at you live from the frigid East Coast for the first podcast of 2018. It is very frigid here, like -6 on the scale, but we coming to you live anyway. A little light. Amina and Matt should be coming on in soon. But until then, I'm rocking out with my man Andre. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself, Dre.
What's up? What's up? Your boy, born and raised West Philadelphia on the playground where I spend most of my days. Uh, Coming at you live. Here, excited to talk about sports and talk about politics and just what's going on in our world today in America. There's so much going on, and we could be on here forever. But I'm excited, and I'm always thankful to be a part of the podcast.
All right, y'all know how we get this started. We get this started with our crossover hot takes. These are topics that don't necessarily have to be about sports. This is where we get into our politics, our entertainment, our local topics. So let's get it started, man. That book, that hit piece, that horrible treatment, as 45 would say. What you think about that? So it's Fire and Fury. It's a Fire and Fury book. Let me get the question right. It's a Fire and Fury book. The beginning of the end for the Trump presidency. Take off, Dre.
I hope so, brother. Get this Joker out of there, man. We need a real president, not a court jester. This dude, man, he's got our country in such disarray. I mean, to be honest, it was in disarray before he got there because we just saw how they treated President Obama. But he made things worse, and he's continuing to make them worse. We definitely got to get him out of office by any means necessary. Well, not any means necessary. I don't want him to be assassinated because we don't want that to happen to any president. And I do say president. Like we always want to respect the presidency, and I understand where President Obama comes from when he says like we still want to respect the position even if we don't agree with his policies and demands and dictatorship he tries to push on to us. We're a country of democracy, although our democracy hasn't been working well lately because Republicans want to do what they want to do and Democrats do what they want to do. So we just stand on two sides of the aisle and nobody comes to agreement. Um, they just came to agreement on that new healthcare bill though. So we'll see how that works. It's supposed to be so good for the corporations and all that. But looking at it now and saying, wait a minute, this might be too good because this might mess up the economy. Like you think? Like President Trump has never been all about the economy. He's always been about the bottom dollar and his bottom dollar, really. So I really hope that Fire and Fury takes him out and his whole cabinet. I hope it takes his vice president with him too. Because that guy is just as bad. Like I don't trust him as well. Mike Pence, you got to go too. So we don't only want Donald Trump to go, we want Mike Pence to go as well. And all his cabinet leaders, everybody. Just let's do the clean sweep, clean house. And I was reading one of the articles about it, and they saying desperate readers flock to local bookstores on Friday in hopes of getting their hands on a copy of Michael Wolff's explosive new tune, Fire and Fury. I'm like, okay, that's a good sign. So hopefully people read this and they get and it stirs up a fire in them and say, you know what, we're gonna make a change. We can't have this dude in office. We can't have him representing us. I would have thought after all the stuff he's done already, disrespecting other leaders of other countries and China, and calling the guy Rocket Man. Really, this guy has nuclear weapons. You're gonna call this man Rocket Man? But yeah, I hope. I really, really hope this is beginning to end. Shoot, I pray. I'm about to pray right now.
Okay. Yeah. I I don't think I think that this is one of the things where this fire wouldn't be as big if 45 and his communications team wasn't so adamant about it being smushed and that it was false and that it was a hit piece because it's like the old saying, man, you protest too much, man, so there must be a fire there because if it didn't matter, you wouldn't be trying to get the publisher to stop publishing the book and different things like that. So there's got to be some truth to it. Now the book may not be totally true. It might not be accurate. I don't know. I wasn't in the room. I didn't sit through the interviews. I wasn't interviewed. But I know I'm interested in the book now. And I wouldn't have cared about this book if I didn't see people it just confirms a lot of things. It really does. It confirms the different mental state. I mean, it explains a lot about what he is as a president. It really does. It explains so much. I can believe he didn't want to be president. I can believe that he didn't believe that his lies were being sold to the country and that he blames a lot of people for him getting elected, mostly the people that voted for him. And I can fully see that. I definitely can. Like it's not anything that I would be shocked about. But it explains a lot. Why does he eat cheeseburgers? Because he's apparently, and this is in the book, apparently he's afraid of being poisoned, so he only trusts pre-prepared food from people that don't expect him to be there. So that explains why he likes cheeseburgers. I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to poison Donald Trump, but he's got that fear. So that's why he eats so much Big Macs and cheeseburgers and everything else. I do believe it. I believe because he's for real, he's inadequate to what you perceive a president to be. I mean, like Andre said, he's calling other world leaders with nuclear weapons and people that are just as crazy, if not more crazy than him. He's calling them little rocket man, trying to goad them into a war because, and who knows, maybe Donald Trump feels that in some part of his psyche that, if he goes North Korea to a war, that people will all of a sudden, I guess he thinks we can't multitask. He all of a sudden believes maybe that people will forget about the Russia investigation. People will forget that Robert Mueller is just shooting his shot, getting ready to take him out. Like, I don't understand the thinking of Donald Trump, but I believe this book explains a lot about the thinking of Donald Trump and how everybody thinks he's an idiot, how a lot of people even closest to him think he's an idiot. I mean, for real, that book probably explains a lot. That's why I think there's a lot of truth to it. Because if there wasn't any truth, there wouldn't be a cease and desist order, and he wouldn't be trying to silence our favorite old racist fat leprechaun, Steve Bannon. Like it's just amazing how many people just foam at the mouth to destroy this man. This man, such a carefully crafted image. He wants to be a control freak. Maybe I don't know why he thinks that he can control everything, but more news just keeps coming out about how he forced the White House lawyer, maybe he didn't force, but how he made the White House lawyer try and force Jeff Sessions to not recuse himself because he knew what was coming. A lot of people think this man is an idiot. This man is not an idiot. I will say it again. He might be stupid, but he's not an idiot. Like, he's not an idiot. He's very smart. He knows what he's doing. I never believed that a meeting could happen in Trump Tower and him not know about it. And if you believe that, I got some swampland in New Jersey to sell you. But like, it's just that book. Will this book get down? Probably not. But will it be a larger portion? If I'm Robert Mueller, I want Michael Wolff to come see me. I want Steve Bannon on line 2 right after that. And then I'm kindly writing a letter to 45 to let him know that your days are numbered. Yeah, because his days are numbered. And if that book is to be believed, if it's half as true as most people are claiming that it is, and if it keeps confirming stories that have come out months ago from the New York Times, the Washington Post, about how this man doesn't have a clear grip on reality, then it's true, man. His days are truly numbered. And, it is what it is. It's time to just do what you can, man, because it makes sense. It makes sense why the Republicans are trying to pass that's going to ruin us in a couple of years. The different things that they're trying to do to get rammed through before he loses is just amazing. But I digress. I'm going to stop. I'm going to let Amina talk. She was clamoring for this to be included because she really wants to talk about 45 in this book. So I'm going to let her go. Unleash, Amina.
Yeah, I must say, I don't think it's the end. I mean, it's just a book. I mean, plenty of people come out with books about current sitting president, and there's no real effect on their time in office, but it'll get more exposure about who he really is. But I don't think it'll be the end of him. I feel as though he's gonna make it through for the rest of his current term. But we'll see what happens in 2020. But I don't think a book is gonna impact his presidency. Mind you, the electoral college is going to put him in office, not the people. So we'll see.
I disagree because, like I said in my to end of my soliloquy, it's confirming a lot of different things. Like the New York Times, the Washington Post have put out stories about what this man did, and I haven't read the book, but it's confirming a lot of those reports about how he did everything in his power, and perhaps illegally and corruptly, to stop Jeff Sessions from resigning because he knew what was coming if Jeff Sessions resigned. It explains a lot as to people's fears about him firing James Comey because Comey was getting too close. That's in the book. I mean, it's all there that confirms a lot of collusion like stuff. So I do believe that if nothing else, now, will this book take him down? I completely agree with you. But I think this book will be the bigger piece of what takes him down. I think at this point, right now, we're at Watergate at this point because, it wasn't Watergate in itself that took Nixon down, but it was the criminal stuff and the Watergate being confirmed because of news reports and everything else. We got all the elements of things that are going to take him down. Ultimately, this is just a small piece of what's going to take him down. The book in itself is not going to take him down, but it's confirming a lot of things that will take him down, though. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like the book. I agree with you. The book in and of itself is not going to take him down. But this is Watergate to him. Like, this is because he's not going to pull a Richard Nixon. He doesn't have the balls to do all that and like break into stuff and steal stuff. We're not there yet. We're not here anymore. But this is his Watergate, for lack of a better historical metaphor. This is his Watergate. This book. And if it wasn't, and I'll say this, if this wasn't a damning book, he wouldn't be trying to sue the publisher and try to stop them from publishing because, I mean, as you said, a lot of books have come out about sitting presidents, but there hasn't been a book about presidents that try to stop it from being published. You know what I mean? Like, no president has ever said, yo, I don't want you publishing that. You know what I mean? Like, most presidents just let it roll off their back. But him, he just can't. He is the author of his own downfall. I'll say that. I'll let you get back in though, but I'll say that he's.
I'm done.
Oh, you done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, moving right along because I know Matt was here. He is coming. He be on this topic, so maybe I'll let him do it. So, guys, are Brady, Belichick, and Kraft going to break up the Patriots because of their feud? So, we might have jumped the shark last week in talking about this before ESPN wrote that brilliant article. Seth Wickersham, shout out to you for writing a brilliant article. He's been breaking a lot of stories about what happened with the NFL players agreements and everything else. He's the man. But he came out with a piece about how basically since early September, Belichick, Brady, and Kraft have been beefing. And something that really stood out to me in the article that I wanted to talk about is Kraft basically uh, forced Bill Belichick to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G, Jimmy GQ, whatever you want to call him. And there was a piece in there, a vivid picture about how Kraft went up and hugged Tom Brady, and Tom Brady felt as happy as he wanted to because he feels like he got the Patriots in the corner now, and Kraft is basically the Jerry Jones of the Patriots. He's going to do everything for Tom Brady at the detriment of his team, and it seems like it might be over for the Patriots as far as with Bill Belichick. Robert Kraft is going anyway. He's still gonna be the owner, but it seems like he might be looking for a coach at the end of the season. So guys, I don't know. You guys think the Patriots about to break up because of this for you? Go ahead, Amina.
Excuse me. It may possibly look like that. I mean, as you, I think you shared something about it on Facebook. I said something about maybe, maybe not, something like that. But it's a whole lot of tension from what I gather on all fronts, along with the situation with Tom Brady's doctor. So it's all playing a part in this feud. But I believe if some resolution isn't brought to the table, to reconcile all the parties involved, I believe that it's going to impact their coaching staff, ownership, and as well Tom Brady's career, because it's not only impacting their team in the background, but it's the known situation now. So it's getting noticed. And this may or may not determine Tom Brady's career future because he is older than a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. And he may either, if it does impact the trio, he's either going to go to another team or retire, one of those. But this is something that's not going to go away until the situation is rectified as far as talked about whether they stay together as a trio or not. But it's tension, lack of communication all around. But that's what I feel.
Go ahead,
I'm going to say that. Well, there's something to it. We know there's something behind it. The fact that everybody's trying to downplay it. Of course, they don't want the team of greatness. Oh, God forbid that the Patriots have anything wrong with them. There's something to it, and I don't see them going past this year. He's kicking out his so-called doctors, and the guru is keeping him on the field and at 40 looking like he's 30 and he's playing better than he did in his 20s and all some of the nonsense. I think it's just healthy for change eventually. You want fresh ideas, you want new ideas, and I really think Brady feels like, which to some degree I can agree with, that's his team. Work is one thing. I mean, we understand the coach puts the scheme together, but Brady's the one executing the scheme, so he definitely has a point. And I think Belichick is probably like, you little spoiled brat. I thought you understood that, like, we are 50-50 in this thing, not that you just take over and you do your own thing. No. So I don't think they'll be past this season. And I'll be happy to see them break up, to be honest with you, because I'm so sick of them and tired of seeing them. Like, I want to see somebody else win. Patriots, Patriots, Patriots. Like, no, let's see somebody else win. But I do think this is the beginning of the end for them. The friction between them. Just reading this article, like, reading this article that, like, Alan was referring to on ESPN from Seth Wickersham, where he said, well, Brady snapped at McDaniels, and he was like, "I got it." So I definitely feel his pain right there when he said that, because like it's like, dude, I'm out here running these plays, getting hit, dealing with concussions and all that, getting schemes together, making sure everybody's on one accord, my back like crazy. But see, that's the pressure of the quarterback position. So I don't understand how Brady think he's gonna make it 5 more years, because it's such a high pressure position. We definitely will see.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's hard to see them making it past the season because, as I said, like they aren't they aren't where they need to be. Like, this is what happened to the Lakers. They were done in during the Shaq and Kobe days. They were done in by infighting in the end. Like, this is what happens to all the semi-great to dominant teams. They're done in by the egos of their best player or by their coach. The Lakers were done in again by the ego of Kobe and Phil, and it's just different. I mean, it's very different to have these people, and this article does a great job. And we're going to talk more about it on our next question too, of just showing us, just like the Fire and Fury book, about just how egotistical both these men are, and how a decision that Bill Belichick made has come back to bite him, because he thought that, because this man started with Willie McGinnis, Guerrero, that he would be harmless to him. And it turns out that, he's the detriment of the team. He wormed his way into Tom Brady's life. He had Tom Brady thinking he's bigger than the team, as Andre alluded to, and nobody is bigger than the team. Football is the ultimate sport that will show you that nobody is bigger than the team. And, and to have Bob Kraft in your pocket, and I don't even like Bill Belichick, to tell you the truth. I mean, he's a great coach, but I don't really like him as a person. It's got me feeling sorry for Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, the man with about 5 rings, got me feeling sorry for Bill Belichick. You know that? That's how this situation is right now. I'm feeling sorry for Bill Belichick. Tom Brady and Robert Kraft, I mean, I got no love for Robert Kraft either, but Tom Brady and Robert Kraft are like the ultimate villains, because basically what they're doing, and what Robert Kraft is doing, is he's working like I don't even know if he's a close friend with Jerry Jones or not, but he's working like Jerry Jones, just how the Cowboys were ruined because Jerry just couldn't get past Troy Aikman. The Patriots are going to be doomed if this ends, if the season ends, whenever it ends, and it's just Bob Kraft and old Tom Brady and Bill Belichick isn't there and they have to look for a coach. Let me tell you what's going to happen if Bill Belichick leaves, and he might go to the Giants. So I hope that don't happen, because I do not want to see him with the Giants. So let me tell you what's going to happen. Bill Belichick, he will probably leave. If he leaves and goes to New York or wherever he goes, right, a new coach is going to come in, and let's be real. They ain't going to have no love for Tom Brady, right? They'll probably get rid of Tom Brady. And then they'll have to find somebody in the draft, which is what Robert Kraft wanted him to do anyway. And so it's just back to square one. Then the Patriots are going to suck, which would be great, because none of us really like the Patriots anyway. None of us from Boston, but it's just stupid. Like, it's just ultimately cutting off your nose to spite your face. It's really stupid for them to have gotten rid of Jimmy G, gotten rid of Jacoby Brissett, and all the other people that were behind Tom Brady, because now they have no future. Like I said last week, nobody wants Brian Hoyer as their quarterback. I mean, literally, San Francisco got rid of him to get a better quarterback because they hated Brian Hoyer. He couldn't even keep a job. He lost his job to Brock Osweiler. And Brock Osweiler is terrible. Like, that's how bad Brian Hoyer is. Nobody wants Brian Hoyer as a starting quarterback as an option for anything. And that's just how horrible this situation is. Yeah, this is going to end the Patriots. It really is. It's going to end the Patriots. And it's going to be amazing to watch, but it's really going to end the Patriots. And Robert Kraft has nobody to blame but himself for even giving the power to Tom Brady as much as he has. I don't care how many rings this man has. This man is 40 years old, going on 41 next year. You do not put your franchise in the hands of somebody who is literally one bad tackle away from never playing football again. You don't do that. You're stupid. You're an idiot. This is why I wonder if they had more realists in their front office, people to stop these owners from making dumb decisions, whether they be white, black, or whatever. If they had more realists in NFL front office where any stupid decisions be made like this one, there would be no need for an article like this if Robert Kraft was just stuck with his Hall of Fame head coach and just said, all right, Tom, peace out, done what all rational owners do. All right, Tom, peace out. It's been great. It's time to go. That would have been the end of it. But nah, here we are because he chose Tom Brady. Now he's about to lose his head coach, and there's nothing he can do to smooth this over. All right, moving right along. We just did our reaction to number 3. So I'm gonna move on to something that's breaking. Well, it's been breaking for a couple hours. The Raiders, Amina's favorite team, are going to give a 10-year, $100 million contract to John Chucky Gruden. What do we think about that? Go ahead, Amina. This is your team.
Concerning my team, you and I have discussed this. Matt and I have discussed it about how I feel, what's going on with my team. Um, in reference to last season, the 2016-2017 season, we still have not bounced back from that game against the Colts. I keep saying it, and people are waking up and realizing the same thing. The team has not been the same since that game. We won that game. We got to the playoffs, lost the first round, and the team just, the whole energy and aura is like it derailed and it hasn't gotten back on track at all. This season truly showed it, and I'm surprised we finished with the record we did, 6-10. I'm very shocked that we got 6 wins in. Like, but I've reflected on my team getting rid of Coach Jack Del Rio, and I don't think it was a real fair move because he was the only coach since I was little in elementary school that got this team to the playoffs. Yes, I know he's not good when it comes to coaching quarterbacks and stuff, but it could have been worked out because he was building something with the team. He had it like nothing's gonna happen overnight. Every team is a continuation of the previous season. I feel as though he should have been allowed to stay on the team and them hiring new offense coordinators, defense coordinators. We need a backup quarterback and some wide receivers. But this new guy that they're supposedly be bringing on, from what I know of him, he doesn't know what he's doing at times, and I'm very fearful about this coming season. Like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to go on. I mean, we just finished season in third place in AFC West. I don't know what's going to go on. But the money they gave this fool, I don't agree with it because that's more money than anybody on the team. That's actual players making. And this guy, uh, his record has shown that he don't know what he's doing really. I seriously want to know who's making the decisions truly in the background about what's going on, going to go on with my team because this is just crazy. How y'all get rid of the only coach that got us to the playoffs in 14, 15 years? A lot of messed up mess going on. Al Davis would not be happy if he was still alive. He'd turn around in his grave right about now. At the state of this team, his son is just screwing up the organization. It's a mess. Great team, love the passion, lifelong fan of theirs. Still loyal to them to the day I die. But I'm not pleased with the contract this fool got. I'm not pleased with the fact that our coach was fired. I'm not pleased with the direction this team's looking all season so far. You have to you have to stick with consistency, especially when you're dealing with situations like football. Because when you keep switching coaches and players, you change the balance of the team, the energy of the team, and different people have different philosophies when it comes to coaching. So players don't get nothing that they're used to. They gotta get used to a whole new coach and his playing style. So I don't know what to expect this coming season. I really don't. I would if Jack was still our coach, but with this new guy, I truly don't. No consistency. You gotta keep the same coaching staff to truly make a difference. And the difference that was present in my team with the potential was there last season when we finished with a 12-4 record. But I'm praying that we have at least a decent season coming. But I'm not expecting too much. I'm just like I tell you, Tyler. I'm just taking one game at a time. We lose, we lose, we lose. We win. But taking one game at a time. I'm not expecting nothing fancy or great. One game at a time. But that's what I gotta say about that.
Go ahead, Andre.
I definitely agree with you on the Al Davis point. He would not be happy with the direction that your front office is taking, and it's clearly a game of they wanted Chucky. Why would they choose John Gruden? Like, does anybody know John's Gruden record? I just looked it up. He's got 95 wins and 81 losses. He's got 5 wins and 4 losses in the playoffs. You know, he's got 1 Super Bowl win, but I don't even think he was a coach at that time. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong or not, but I don't think he was a coach. I think he was part of the coaching staff. But his record isn't impeccable. Like, it's like, really, this dude gets 10 years, 100 million.
I mean,
Well, you just had
he
to
did
go
take
ahead.
them to the Super Bowl. He took them and Tampa Bay to a Super Bowl, so and won both of them.
Oh, okay. So I see.
He won 2 Super Bowls. That's why he's getting that money. One with them, one with the Buccaneers. You should remember that they came in and destroyed the Eagles. Remember in 04?
Oh yeah, I do remember. Yeah, that wasn't a good year for us. I do remember that. So I get it. I get why they giving him 10 years and 100 million. I still think it's a lot of money though. Like he's getting paid like he's JJ Watt. He doesn't even play. And I like listen. We all admire the fact how much he knows and studies the game, but he's not the only coach that does that. He's not the only coach that knows the game well. You mean tell me Belichick don't know the game well? You mean tell me Tony Dungy doesn't know the game well? Do you know Tony Dungy's record? Of course, they're not gonna give it to their brother though. They would never give a brother that kind of money before they give it to the white man. Tony Dungy's record is, and I will say he had Peyton Manning, but his record was what 139 wins, 69 losses, 9 wins in the playoff, 10 losses in the playoff, and he won 1 Super Bowl. He's got to me, and I understand that he won 2 Super Bowls, but to me, I would give that money to Tony Dungy before I would give it to John Gruden. I don't, but it's not my team. I really, really could care less what they do. I just don't. From a football stance, I don't think it's a good move. I think. Well, you know what? I will say this. I'll say this. I do like the fact that they're staying committed to a coach. What I think the new NFL does and NBA, and I think I see it in the NHL sometimes too, and I see it in MLB. It's just Major League Sports all around. I don't know if this happened in Major League Soccer, but they quick to blame the coach, and they don't give the coach enough time to change the culture, to get the players underneath them, to them believing in the system, and the players that actually play for their coach. Like, I know my coach is not going to put me in a bad position. He's going to put me in a position so we can win and we can be one of the greatest teams ever and we can be talked about forever. I think they fire coaches way too fast now. It's like as soon as you start losing, it's like, it's his fault. Let's fire him. We've seen that a lot with the Sixers. Sixers went through so many coaches. From Mo Cheeks to Doug Collins. I'm going to say Doug Peterson, but we know that's the football coach, not the basketball coach. So many coaches in a short amount of time. But we really never gave somebody enough time, to me, to really develop the team to where they need to be, especially when you got like subpar players. Like, what you want me to do with these guys? Really? All these leagues, you need a superstar player to win a championship, period. And you got to put pieces around him that complement him in order for the team to win. None of these leagues, you're going to win with an okay team. It's just, the talent is too good now. What John Madden did back in the day, it's so rare. It's so hard to do nowadays. Especially with teams like the Golden State Warriors. It's no way in the world you could win if like you just put a bunch of role players together against the Golden State Warriors. They would shoot the lights. They do shoot the lights out. So we'll see what John Gruden does. But you know what? It may sound like I don't wish him success. I do wish him success, to be honest with you, because if he is successful, then he'll be changing the culture for coaches to get longer contracts and for them to believe in them more when they start producing.
Let me say this. This is about to sound like I'm against John Gruden. I'm not against John Gruden, but he hasn't coached. The last time he coached, I believe it was 06, 07, before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, maybe even 08, before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got rid of him. I think time has passed him by. Sure, he's an ESPN analyst and everything else, and he's been around football all his life, and you know his brother is the coach of the Washington football team and everything else. But there's some things that time just passes you by. We're seeing this with Tom Brady. We're seeing it with Bill Belichick. Eventually, time catches up to you. And when he was in the NFL, it was a different NFL where if y'all remember what John Gruden used to run, it used to be a very run first focused offense, and his defense was very smash mouth. You can still have a smash mouth defense, but you can't name a lot of very run focused teams that all they do is run the ball and that's it, right? I mean, for real, this man won 2 Super Bowls where his best quarterback was with the Raiders. He won a Super Bowl with Rich Gannon as his quarterback. Like that is not. And then the other guy I think he had was oh my God, what's his name? Doug something. It was either Gus Frerotte or Doug something when he had his Tampa Bay quarterback. I think it was Gus Johnson, but I can't remember. I think it might have been Gus Johnson, something Johnson. And he had Mike Allscott and Ward Dunn and all them people to run the ball with. You won't have that with Oakland. You have Marshawn Lynch. Sure, you can still do the smash mouth, but it's a different league now, especially in that division where it's just solid defenses. You will not be running the ball on Kansas City. You will not be running the ball down the Denver Broncos' throat. You will not even be running the ball down the San Diego Chargers belt. I believe between all those teams, everybody except for the Raiders this year, all those teams, that was the top. Well, obviously the Eagles had the top defense in the league, and then it was Seattle. But all those other teams, that's a top 6 defense. Those 3 teams that I mentioned, you're not going to be able to do that. And I like John Gruden, but he's not. That's not the type of coach he is. He's a run first coach, and that does not work in the league anymore. He's going to have to change his style. He's going to have to adjust to today's players. He's going to have to adjust to Twitter, to all the stuff that today's players, some things pass you by. And I admire the Raiders for wanting to go for the knockout hire, wanting to get him instead of going to what's his name? You could have had the guy in Michigan who's done a pretty good job with California teams. You could have had him. You could have had John's with the Ravens. You could have had Jim Harbaugh. You could have had any coach you wanted. The Raiders, you probably could have convinced Nick Saban to leave Alabama to come to Oakland with the name and the legacy of the Raiders. But you went back and reached
Vegas, Colin. Vegas. No more Oakland.
You reached way beyond your time. Like you went back to 98 to get your coach. 98. 20 years ago. You went back 20 years to get your coach of the future. You're getting a coach who's older, who probably, and I don't know the exact ages of your team, of the people that Amina knows the ages of. I think most of the players on the Raiders, besides Marshawn Lynch, are all in their 20s. So they were little kids when this man was coaching. You're going to bring an old man in to coach young kids? And yeah, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings, but that only goes so far. Are you going to be able to reach these grown men at their level? Like there are so many things that go into coaching now. Coaching is way more complicated than it was in 2008. You got to coach to today's players. You got to be able to coach them up on the field and off the field. And I don't think he's used to that. Today's game is going to eat him up and alive. I admire him. I hope those 10 years are guaranteed. But I don't really think he's going to last. I don't think he's the change that Oakland needs. I don't think he's going to be the coach that the Raiders need. I agree with Amina and I agree with Dre. Like this is a rewind the clock higher. Let's make the Raiders great again. Marga, make the Raiders great again. Like that's what they're doing. That's what they're reaching back and saying. And I know that phrase has connotations, but That's what it is. They're marketing. I just created a phrase for you Raiders fans. They're marketing. They're trying to make the Raiders great again. And I agree with them. They didn't give Del Rio enough time. Like last year, he had a playoff team. This year, he had a medium team. He could have gotten one more year. You didn't need to fire him before the game even ended. You know, y'all could have done better than John Gruden. And I like John Gruden. The Eagles were about to hire him a couple years ago. I like John Gruden. But I would say the same thing if he was the Eagles coach. He's way past his prime. I don't think he can reach today's players. I really don't. And like I said, I hope those 10 years are guaranteed. But I think it's going to be a rocky road for the Raiders from now until they get to Vegas. So we're gonna move along. Andre already kind of answered this question, and then we're gonna end these hot takes and go to our regular topic. Will Brady play until he is 45? I'll start. No. He's already starting to look like an old man. His body's breaking down. And the article that Seth Wickersham wrote, he talked about the injuries and Achilles, a shoulder. Brady's going down for all his boasts, for him and Guerrero's boasts about how he's beating the hands of time. He's beating God in the way our bodies were created. No, it's time. It's his body's breaking down. He's getting to be way past his prime, and it's showing up in these last few games. Father Time is undefeated, and Tom Brady is being defeated by Father Time. No, he won't play until he's 45. This might be his last season with the Patriots. Go ahead, Amina.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. What's the status on his contract? His current contract that he's in? Like, does he become a free agent soon or what?
He's a free agent at the end of the season.
At the end of the season?
At the end of the season, yes.
So we talking about the end of this coming season to starting.
As soon as the playoffs is over, however far they get, he's a free agent after the playoffs. Come April, he'll be a free agent. Or July, or whatever their off season starts, he's a free agent.
Now that I know that puts in a different perspective. Based on age, his contract, the tensions that's going on, and the team as far as coaching, staff, and whatever, his doctor and all of that. I have to agree with you that his days with the Patriots just might be over. Who knows what he's gonna do, where he's gonna go next? Just have to watch, pay attention. But all good things, all great things eventually come to an end, and I feel as though this is time. Um, it'll be very interesting to see how his time in the NFL ends. I mean, people are going to be talking about him most definitely. They might try to retire his jersey. Who knows? But he's not just a regular quarterback out there. He's different, so to speak. So no, 45. No, I don't think he's going to last that long. And now that I know that his contract is going to be up in the spring, yeah, he's his days are definitely numbered. So yeah, he may be trying to get one last ring from out of the team and go on with his life. Yeah, I don't see him making it that far. I just see him ending it now before it gets bad. That's like I say.
So wait a minute. What question are we answering now?
Um, about Tom Brady, do you think he's gonna make it to 45 years old as a quarterback or not?
45. No, I don't think he's gonna make it. Oh, were you done to me? I'm
Yeah,
apologize.
yeah, okay.
Um, Tom Brady, and listen, I hear uh, he's lasted a long time, granted, but these young players are not going to allow him to just come in and throw how many passes he won and just keep going to Super Bowl. Eventually, shoot, if I was a coach, I would take him out. We take him out, we win the game. Because that's their whole heart of their team. So we rip out their heart. How they gonna live? Gonna make it to 45. Take them out. Somebody going either um they either going go for him like they're gonna have a bounty on his head, or accident, like I don't know, he breaks his leg or something like. But I don't no, I don't think he's gonna make it to 45. 45 is a lot of games from now. That's a lot of your especially if he gets a new coach. That new coach may want to switch some things up, but maybe he'll get a new coach that listens to time and how. Because the great thing about coaching, you can't be a coach and be a player. Give up. That's why it's great to work as a team, because everybody brings something different to the table. We all working. No, he. Colin.
Uh, Let me just say that Brady isn't gonna play until he's 45. Like I say, his body, his injuries, everything is going to catch up to him. And like Andre said, I mean, all the team got to do is take him out. And that's the whole team right there. Like I say, he doesn't have much behind him. Brian Hoyer, nobody's scared of that. And I just don't think it's possible, especially with all this stuff. He's basically dug himself a hole. He's acting like Brett Favre. And ultimately, what happened with Brett Favre is Brett Favre found himself isolated and on teams and just being away and missing everything and being humbled. And I think that's what's going to happen to Tom Brady. Like, he's going to find out that he's not bigger than the team. The Patriots are going to get rid of him, send him somewhere else, and he's not going to have successes. And he's going to be humbled, just like Brett Favre was. What struck me was much like Brett Favre, much like Peyton Manning, much like all the other people that Wickersham mentioned. He didn't try and help his fellow quarterback. It's like Brady is so arrogant about just himself. Like I don't know what he thinks. Just from the article, what I get the picture I get painted as an arrogant man who thinks that I guess he's self-made. He doesn't understand that he's a system quarterback. He will if the Patriots do the right thing and get rid of him, like I think they should. So I think that he'll definitely won't play until he's 45. If he does play until he's 45, it'll be with another team and not with the Patriots.
Now, I also gotta say that now that there's testing being done on living individuals for CTE, I like to know what his status is with that. Like testing wise. I want to know like what his brain looks like after all these years of playing football.
Me too. That'd be an interesting study, but he'll have his business partner say he could cure CTE next or something. So that's where we are. I mean, and I agree with you.
And I wonder
Guys,
how
we
his
gonna-
wife. I wonder how his wife feels about this. He's, you know, he's married. Like, and I'm sure his who he has a daughter or a son. I think it's a daughter. They're not going to want him away for this long extended period of time. They probably gonna be like, look, retire. Like, how many rings do you want? Like, are you just greedy?
I mean, I think he just wants to break records. But moving right along, we're gonna move on to the next topic, or else we're gonna be here all day talking about Tom Brady. Tom Brady and the Patriots. Guys, why is everybody picking against the Eagles in the playoffs? What's wrong with them? Go ahead, Andre.
Well, this is a pretty easy question. Um, they look bad in the last couple of games. Just to be frank, they looked horrible. They couldn't score. Nick Foles looked scared. I mean, my Rick Charles could see how scared Nick Foles looked. Like, it's like, dude, did you practice all week? And like, how was practice? Were they like just, oh, Nick, throw the ball? No, because dude, like you don't look like you belong in the like the plays you're running, the the interception you threw was in it, and then it's like it is. He's trying to be Carson Wentz, but his game isn't Carson Wentz. Well, he's trying to make something happen, and Carson made. That's how great players make hard things look. Michael Jordan makes Duncan and shit all look easy. LeBron look easy. It's not. It's not easy. They're that gifted. They work that hard. Product of their hard work. That's all you're seeing. That's why they're picking against the Eagles. That's definitely why they're picking against the Eagles. But I would say, like, what do you have? A short memory? They just beat the Rams at home. That defense is pretty good. Don't shortchange. He had some bad games, but guess what? All teams, I don't care how great their record is, they have some. What? Everybody gets paid to play the game. They'll let you just come in and beat them. Earlier, the Browns went to overtime. They went 0-16, but they went to overtime. It's going to be easy for you to beat any team. So don't you ever think Eagles in South Philly, baby. This is not gonna be nice to you. It's gonna be cold because God knows how long it's just you know, and it's hard for any quarter win. And but I look forward to it. That's to the occasion.
Go ahead, Amina.
Yeah, since Carson Wentz got injured, the reality of the team has changed. I mean, when a team for any given season has established a foundation, they have their core members, and one of those key core members goes down injured, it's usually a domino effect. or with a negative chain reaction that was evident with my team last season when Derek Carr went down. And I use it as an example of how this season is the same with Eagles with Carson Wentz. Um, the team they was on fire. Let's go every game this season. Then Carson Wentz goes down, and boom. And then the game was stalled when they played against the Raiders on the 25th of last month, where everyone, including myself, thought it was going to be an overtime game. And then they played a devastating closeout game of 2017 against the Cowboys in Philly at the Link. They scored nothing. They just let the Cowboys come to town and do that to them. I think it's contributed to the fact that Jerry Jones was in our city. He does bring his negative vibes, but um,
But in fairness, we that game didn't mean anything, and we rested a bunch of our starters.
I know that, but still, six to nothing. It shows a lot. But this team, the confidence is the shot. Nick Foles is not Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz is not Nick Foles. I mean, Nick Foles, yes, he's gotten the team in the Chip Kelly era. He got them to the playoffs, but this is a different team now. And Carson Wentz, he has different drive power on the field, in spite of him not going to the playoffs yet in his career. But people are waking up and realizing the reality of this team and where they stand as far as going forward. Nothing is guaranteed with this game. I tell anyone when they speak of their favorite NFL team, take one game at a time. Don't count on anything at the end. Take one game at a time. You win, you win. You lose, you lose. And that's where the Eagles fans have to wake up and realize that this is going to be a very unpredictable playoff season, possibly for the Eagles. Don't know how far they're going to go, but praying for the best. They do make it to the Super Bowl because it's not going to be pretty on social media for them if they don't. But like I said, Nick Foles has to wake up, get his confidence in order, and those around him on the team. They have to make teamwork into dreams work, so to speak. But this team has the potential. They just have to shake off that I don't have no self esteem and my confidence is shot. They just get back doing what they've been doing this season, and that's running through routines like no one's business.
Yeah, I think that the Eagles have finally had a wake up call. As far as the Cowboys game, even though it didn't count, I will readily agree it didn't count. But you know what? It was good for the Eagles to have these two games where they had to struggle because I rather them learn how to win in games where you struggle and then to worry about different things. Now that game with the Cowboys and everything, I think that the drive was good, but the Torrey Smith didn't drop a pass, and Nick Foles could have seen the schemes that they were running. And I mean, it's right. Nick Foles hasn't played with confidence. Andre's right too. Nick Foles has not played with confidence these last two games. I don't know what's wrong with him. Um, but somebody needs to get him into like isolation, give him a talking to, give him some motivation, pray over him. He's a Christian, so Somebody needs to put him in some prayer, get him with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz to preach over his life and speak over his life so that he'll be ready come next Saturday. Because right now is a week. He needs to get himself ready for the Saints, Panthers, or the Falcons. And, it's just that simple. This is sudden death. This is one game and you're out. The Eagles defense has been doing well, but they need to come alive. It's not just Nick Foles. But as far as Nick Foles' play, yeah, he definitely needs to play better. Nobody won't say he needs to play. He has played great. But the Eagles definitely have been learning how to win through adversity. And right now, this is adversity. This is, but your defense can carry them. I've seen defenses carry worse quarterbacks to the playoffs, and to the playoffs and to the Super Bowl. Am I saying they're gonna make the Super Bowl? I don't know because I'm not there yet. I don't know what's gonna happen with the Eagles team, but I know this is the best defense we've had in years. I know the last time. I know if history repeats itself, the last time they won 13 games, they went to a Super Bowl. Sure, you take it one game at a time, but if history repeats itself, they'll be in the Super Bowl. And they have a great defense. We'll see who they play because everything depends on the matchup. I'd be much happier if they play the Saints or the Panthers in comparison to the Falcons, because I'm not really sure our defense can hold up against Julio Jones. But I know that Matt Ryan is a duck is a statue in there. We can sack him and get him scared. I know we can sack any quarterback that we face except for Cam Newton, and I know we can do that. But our defense, as you said, one game at a time. Come next week, we know there'll be a playoff game, and hopefully the Eagles will win, and there'll be an NFC Championship game in Philadelphia. But it's just we're doing what we got to do at this point, and what we have to do is practice hard, watch the game plan, watch the film, and be ready for any of those three teams that we can face. And we'll know come tomorrow, but we need to just be ready. That's all we can do. Always be ready. Be always ready. It's time to get ready.
Yeah, I wouldn't want history necessarily to repeat itself in spite of the record, because in 2005 they played against the Patriots and that was not a pretty loss that the Eagles had.
True, but it is what it is at this point. We might as well all get ready. It's really only between four teams. It's either going to be the Eagles versus the Patriots or the Steelers, or the Vikings versus the Patriots and Steelers. There's really no other options. There's only four options. It is what it is after that. It doesn't matter what the experts say. It doesn't even matter what we say. My team needs to get motivated, and they need to get ready come next week to face the Falcons, Saints, or the Panthers. It is what it is after that. So, guys, let's get ready for Hot Take 94 WIP Twitter right now at Kyler W. Watson. Should the Eagles let Nate Sutterfield play? Should they bench him? Let me start. No. No, they shouldn't bench him. They shouldn't bench Nick Foles. Listen, I'd rather have experience and scared than no experience. And there's a such thing as somebody being inexperienced for the moment, right? And Nate Sutherfield, he did well in relief of Nick Foles last week. And I like the kid. I think he has spunk. I think he'll be a great quarterback in this league, and give it a chance. I think he'll be a great quarterback. But at this point, he needs to chillax for a little bit right now. He needs to stay on the bench, learn behind Nick Foles, and just be a great backup, be there for support, because Nick Foles, like I said, he's all the support he can get. I like the kid. He showed me something. He's really been studying Carson Wentz. He can throw. I really like him. But I don't think he shouldn't be in this playoff game with us. I think we need to roll with Nick Foles, and we'll live or die by Foles. That's just what it is. One game at a time. We will live or die by Nick Foles. And it is what it is at this point. And no amount of politicking or anything is going to make Nate Sutterfield play. Let me be clear. I don't want Nate Sutterfield playing. I don't want a quarterback who, up until last week, that was his first NFL game. I don't want him in the moment. I'm not saying they couldn't come in if something happens to Nick Foles, but if Nick Foles is healthy, that's a starting quarterback come next week. It's not Nate Satterfield. Go ahead, Andre.
Correction, it's Sudfeld. I would tell him stay ready. I don't bitch Sudfeld. You getting paid too. Listen, I don't give a darn. You the towel boy. You stay ready. All right. I'm not saying you won't come in the game, but you better be ready to deliver them towels. Everybody got a job to do, and I need everybody to do their job well. So when I'm saying this, I'm saying if Nick what I need in that first half, he looks terrible in that first half. And I mean he has to look terrible. Like he can't give me any anywhere. He's throwing picks left and right. He's not reading the defense. He's not doing his pre-read snap. Sudfeld, it's your time, baby. I need you to step up. Because guess what? We only get one chance. One chance this season to go to the Super Bowl. And sometimes you never get back to the Super Bowl. That's the reality of this thing. That's the reality. Ask Dan Marino how many times he's been to the Super Bowl. And that's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Hall of Famer. There's no guarantee the Eagles will be back next year for Super Bowl. There's no guarantee. God forbid, Carson Wentz might get hurt every season. He might be a injury-prone player. Now, God forbid that happen. I'm the last person who wants to see Carson Wentz get hurt. From the time he retired. And I want him to retire as an Eagle, of course. But Sudfeld, stay ready, baby. Stay ready. Job. That's it. That's all we asking you to do. Do your job. You don't have to go out and be Carson Wentz because you aren't Carson Wentz. So you can produce. We know you can throw 7 touchdowns. It was you. Let's go. Amina.
Yeah, y'all said pretty much what needed to be said.
Well, hold up. Nick Foles, I need you to find yourself, man. I know you're probably too big to be listening to a small podcast like this, but I need you to find yourself, man. I need you to find 2013 Nick Foles, find whatever box you put that man in, and come back and stop trying to be Carson Wentz, man. You're not Carson Wentz. Stop trying to make too much things happen. Like last week, you were having a perfect game. If it wasn't for Torrey Smith dropping the ball, you probably would have had a touchdown, and we probably wouldn't be talking about this. But I need you to play within yourself. I know the games were relatively simple these last 2 weeks because let's face it, it wasn't like we were playing. It wasn't like we were playing like the Patriots or the Steelers our last 2 games. So the Eagles took their foot off the gas. That's literally what they did these last 2 games. So, I need you to find yourself. I know that, them games weren't important, but now it's time to count. Now it's time for Doug Peterson to do his thing and reiterate to you that you need to be the best Nick Foles you can be. Not Carson Wentz. I don't need you to even be Donovan McNabb. I need you to take yourself, bring back 7 touchdown Nick Foles, 4 touchdown Nick Foles. Bring back the guy that doesn't turn the ball over and that knows how to throw the ball and that knows how to make good plays. Bring that guy back and we'll be fine. 1 game at a time. Get ready for the Patriots. Get ready for the Panthers, Saints, or Falcons. And find yourself, man. Because it's not like we're playing any of those 3 teams have a top 5 defense. We got the best defense in the league. I need you to find yourself and understand that the defense got you and you need to be confident. That's what I need you to find. All right, so moving right along, we're just going to hit Wild Card Weekend. Amina's got the schedule and knows it up and down better than I do. But Kylan curveball, because I totally forgot to put that in. I know tomorrow the games start. So Titans and Chiefs, that's the first game. Who we got there? I'm taking the Chiefs because better defense, Andy Reid on the mission, Alex Smith on the mission, and the Chiefs have been, slowly but surely they found their groove, and Alex Smith is showing his early season self, and I really do believe that. And the Titans are light work, so I really do believe that that the Chiefs will win, and that the Chiefs will go on to face. I guess they'll be facing the Steelers, or they might face the Patriots come next Saturday. I don't really know, but I know that Andy Reid will either see Bill Belichick or Mike Tomlin come next week. So yeah, Chiefs because better offense, better defense. Andre.
I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs. I got faith in Big Red. I don't care what nobody say. He's a winning coach. Period. He's been to playoffs. He's no games. He's been to championship games. NFC championship games. He knows what it takes to get there. He knows the game. I think he got a better team. Period. It's that simple to me. He has a better team.
Amina. Amina, you there? Amina. Uh-oh. All right. I don't even know what the next game after that is. I guess it would be the Panthers and Saints. Andre, you got a prediction? You got a prediction for that?
Panthers and Saints. Tougher. Colin, I'm gonna have to say.
No, matter of fact, my bad. It's not the Panthers and Saints tomorrow. It's the Falcons and Rams. Go ahead.
Falcons and Rams. I think it's another tough game. If Matt Ryan plays like the Matt Ryan, and the Matt Ryan we fell in love with last season, Ryan that was killing the Patriots those first three quarters, they allowed him and won a great Super Bowl winning. I'm just so about that. Damn coach, I'm really pissed at him. Run the damn ball. Run it down the damn throats. They'll never be able to catch up. If I have, I gotta choose. So I'm gonna go the Falcons. I think they're still. First of all, you gotta be pissed about they want to redeem themselves. Brees is, and we know what Drew Brees is. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league. I just think they're going to find a way to beat them. Now, I don't know how. Maybe they get their running game going. Maybe they get the passing game going. But I think they're going to will themselves. They're going to will themselves to get back. To Super Bowl until they meet my Eagles, baby. That green team come on the scene. Oh man, Colin.
Yeah, to you Amina fans, Amina's phone died, so she won't be joining us for a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way. I think the Rams are gonna win. I think the Rams have the better defense. They play a little bit more hard nosed. I think they're the better, more balanced team. The Falcons, they have an okay defense, but it's not as good as it was last year. If they had last year's Falcons defense, I definitely would pick them. But they don't have last year's Falcons defense. The guy that did the Falcons defense is on the Rams this year. So, I think the Rams will win, and I believe that the Eagles will then face the Saints or the Panthers because the Rams are the better team. So the Rams should win, and they should go on to face the Vikings, which will be a fantastic game. Yeah. So that's my predictions for that, and then we'll pick the other two games, which are the Saints and the Panthers, and then the Jaguars and the what's the other team? The Jaguars and oh god, I don't even know the Jaguars are playing. But the Jaguars and somebody. Go ahead, Andre. Saints Panthers. Pick that game.
Wait, I thought you said the Saints was playing the Falcons.
No, the Saints play the Panthers, the Falcons play the Rams.
Well, you said that first, and then you said a correction. That's what happened.
Right. The correction was I was just going by who's playing tomorrow. Not who's picking the schedule. So tomorrow, Sunday is Saints, Panthers, and Jaguars. I can't remember. Oh, Jaguars and Buffalo and the Bills. That's who it is. All right. Jaguars and Bills, Saints, Panthers. Go ahead, Andre. Doesn't matter which one.
I'm going to go with the Saints. I think the Panthers are too. They're missing so many. It's going to hurt them. What's my man name on the defense? The corner. What's his name, Colin? Can't think of his name. I think they're going to miss him. And
Jason Norman. I mean, Josh Norman. Who? Him?
Josh Norman and what's the other one? Richard Sherman. Both going to make a huge impact on the defense, and the defense won't play as well. Plus, Cam Newton, I don't know if he's still yet proven. He went to Super Bowl once, granted, but Cam is he's such a head case. And I know you probably would argue who's not a head case. Everybody's a head case. No, but some people can mentally handle the game better than others, and they don't allow outside head as easily. And I think Cam allows people to get in his head, and once you're in his head, like it's over. Or he has a couple bad plays, it's over. He's not the type to keep rallying and come back. He may do it a few games, but consistently, no, I don't think he's that kind of quarterback. Now, Drew Brees, who that? They listen. They from a city where it's nothing but faith. That's what they believe. Like that team has been through so much. They are all based on no matter what, we're gonna get it done. No matter what, we're gonna get it done. Now with the Bills and the Jaguars, I'm gonna have to go with the Bills. Although I think the Jaguars got a pretty good defense, I believe that the Bills' offense is more powerful. Still a bad boy, man. Wish we would have never let go, but we got some great running backs, so we're not really that, bitter about it. Just wish it wouldn't have ended the way it did with Chip Kelly destroying our team. But I'm going to have to go with the Bills. Colin?
All right, I'm going to go with the Saints. So if the Saints win, they'll come play the Eagles. I'm going with the Saints. Drew Brees, better offense, just two-headed monster running back. Panthers don't really have the defense that they once had. Go with the Panthers, and then on the other side, I'm gonna go with the Jaguars because they haven't been nowhere in the 90s since '99, and they have a really good defense. I think that they'll be able to run all over the Bills, and I do believe. I don't know if Shady's gonna play. I think he injured his hamstring or quad or something. I don't know if he's gonna play, but I think that the Jaguars will beat them, and then they'll go on and play the Steelers, I believe. But I gotta go with Saints and Jags on Sunday. Okay, so moving right along. Okay, Markelle Fultz has been cleared to play, and so should the Sixers just let him play or not let him play and save him for next year? Go ahead. Andre.
Listen, they gotta let him play. Hands down, let him play. Because if you don't let him play, it's gonna feel like how it's felt for years now, tanking all over again. Let the kid play. We need people to score. Period. And the only person we got that can pull up a jump shot is JJ Redick. The rest of the players are subpar. And Ben Simmons, I'm not even talking about his jump shot. And listen, we need Markelle. We need him. The fans are paying to see all these first round picks play together and see what we have. Plus, if you let him play now, you know how to better construct your team next year. Not just in practice, but for actual game time situations. Because practice is one thing. But when you in the game, listen, like Mike Tyson said famously, playing until they get punched in the mouth. So we can game plan now for being punched in the mouth if we let him play. Now we see like, oh, we thought he was going to handle that situation pretty well. No, he didn't handle that situation, bro, pretty well. So guess what? We're going to do this on top of that, more potent against teams. Let Markelle Fultz play. Period. Colin?
You know what? I'm of the mindset that he should play. But since the 76ers front office, as Andre alluded to off air, doesn't think like me or him. They think with the future in mind to their detriment. I think that they won't let him play. I think that they'll find every reason in the book, much like they did with Joel Embiid after his minor injury was turned out to be serious last year. I think that they will find a way to not let him play, and he will redshirt, as I've affectionately called it, the Sixers red shirt. He's going to redshirt, and we won't see him again until next year. I want him to play. I think they should let him play, but I know this organization and how they think from last year and their thought process with Jalil Okafor. I believe they won't play. They won't let him play because their thing is we're going to trust the process and rely on Simmons and Embiid to take us somewhere and take us to the playoffs, take us to the promised land. And if they can't do it, then we'll just let Markelle play with those two next year, and the Sixers can wait, and Sixers fans can wait. Now, just to be clear, I think they should let him play, but the Sixers front office won't do it. I believe that it'll be that we won't see Markelle until after the All-Star break, if we see him at all. Andre, you got anything to add on that one?
Let him play. I can't say it enough. I'm so sick of players being cleared to play. They can't play. Nobody wants to see him come and be in street clothes. We listen. We drafted him for a reason. He's number one. And don't tell me no nonsense like we want him to get rookie of the year or some crap like that. No. This is season. Let him play now. He's not gonna get rookie of the year because it's too late in the season. So don't worry. We need to see what we got. We need to see how we can complement our 3 number 1 draft picks with better players. How we can get rid of some of these players and say, you know what? We need more of this and we need more of that.
All right. We're moving right along. So Isaiah Thomas didn't play against the Celtics. Should he have? Should they have let him play? Speaking of letting them play. Go ahead, Andre.
Should they let him play? You know, I was really thinking about this, and I was really, really thinking about it. No, and then here's why. This is why they shouldn't let Isaiah Thomas play. They got enough superstars and enough all stars on Cleveland. Cleveland's a proven team. This was the Sixers. I'd have said, yeah, he should have played because we need to see how he's going to gel with this team. But the Cavaliers have been to the finals. LeBron, he carries every team he has to the finals every year. Like, they need to, if they can't win without Isaiah Thomas, it's a huge problem in Cleveland. Period. Isaiah Thomas, they're preserving him. They're doing just like how the Sixers were doing with Embiid. They're just trying to preserve him for time to come. And the time to come for the Cleveland Cavaliers is the playoffs. They hands down gonna be in the playoffs. Here. So they saying, listen, he just came off an injury, and we want to keep him fresh. We don't want to burn him out. It's God forbid he reactivate the injury, and now we start back at square one again, and we missing another player that could change the game, that could get us alley-oops, they could open up lanes, get other players open shots like Kyle Korver or Kevin Love or LeBron, any of the players. Because say what you want about Isaiah Thomas. He draws a double team because he's a proven scorer in this league. He can get to the cup. He can hit 15-foot jumpers, 17-foot jumpers. Like he's a playmaker. He's an all-star in this league, period. That's why they took him for Kyrie Irving. Of course, they gave away someone else because Kyrie Irving, is an all-star plus the finals MVP. No, they shouldn't have played Isaiah Thomas. They didn't have to play Isaiah Thomas. They didn't need Isaiah Thomas to win that game. What they needed was somebody else to step up, or another role player, or Jeff Green. Because LeBron's going to be LeBron. And guess what? If LeBron does have a bad night, he deserves a bad night. He plays hard all season. It's time for other players. They get paid. They need to step up. Period. Colin?
Yeah, I'm of the mindset. I disagree with you. I'm of the mindset that he should have played because he's injured. He missed most of the season, and it's against the Celtics, his former team. And everybody does well against their former team. And I wanted to see him play. Sure, he can't and won't play. He can't. Well, I shouldn't say he won't. He's not a player that plays defense very well. But I want to see him against Kyrie Irving, see how that would have gone for him because they won't be able to hide him or sit him come the playoffs.
But let me ask you this, Colin. Are they going to see them again in the playoffs?
You know they're going to see them again in the playoffs.
Okay, so what matters more, the regular season or the playoffs?
Well, right now for him, he needs to get his bearings in. I mean, you have to understand he wasn't practicing until this week with them. He was just watching because his hip wasn't there. So I mean, for him, he got to play when he can play because I think that LeBron James is a great player and the ultimate unselfish player. But you got to get ready.
Does Cleveland have enough firepower on their team to beat the Celtics without Isaiah Thomas?
Nah, they just got destroyed by the Celtics.
Are you serious?
No, they really. You saw the score, man. They really. I understand it doesn't matter. Will LeBron James beat them? Probably, but I'm just saying that do they have
Tristan Thompson is nobody? Kevin Love is nobody.
I mean,
that's what you're telling me.
Listen, no,
you telling me their matchups outweigh the matchups on Cleveland. Just because you have a bad game doesn't mean that your team is better than my team. That just means we had a bad game. That's it.
Listen, I'm not saying that they're better than the Celtics, but what I'm saying right now is, and even LeBron James said it after, is right now they aren't a better team than the Celtics. Now, because the playoffs,
and I agree with you on that. But that
but they're
doesn't
not.
just so what? They're not a better team than Celtics right now. That doesn't mean that Isaiah Thomas needs to play because they're not a better team.
No.
Especially when you got a goal in mind.
Okay, you got to go.
It'd be one thing if you knew you had no shot at getting to the championship round. You keep getting there. There's no way, because guess what? When the pressure comes on, Cleveland stands up.
Listen,
trust and believe. And these teams in the regular season, they don't always do well in the playoffs. You know that, Colin. Come on now.
Listen, I agree with you, but here's what I'm going to say. LeBron James may be on the mission, but so is Kyrie Irving. Now, that team goes, you've seen how far a Kyrie-led team goes. That's what Cleveland's missing right now. Even with Isaiah Thomas, he's not Kyrie Irving. You'll admit that, right?
He's not. You're right. He's not.
He's not going to do what Kyrie Irving gives you. He's not going to give you anything Kyrie Irving gives you.
He can give you the points. He can give you the points that Kyrie did. He might not as good as Kyrie does, because Kyrie, he's affected the Celtics like right away. Like they have the best record in the Eastern Conference, right?
Right. So like I said, Kyrie Irving has that Boston Celtics team playing on another level. Now listen, you're of the mindset that it doesn't matter. I'm of the mindset that it does matter, because you never want to give a young team like the Celtics, which is what they are, a young team. You never want to give a young team confidence. You never want to have people like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown believing that they can cross you up and get their shots whenever they want to, whether Kyrie Irving is on the floor or not. This is why I say this stuff matters. Even LeBron will say this stuff matters. Whether Isaiah Thomas plays or not, this stuff matters, because it's not about Kyrie Irving, just like it's not about LeBron James or Isaiah Thomas. It's about them role players, right? It's not about them. Yeah, LeBron James can carry a team all by himself, but we know that it's better for him to not do that so we can have a competitive finals. Because if he sees Golden State and is carrying Cleveland to the finals, it's not going to be a long finals. Just like last year. We know it's not going to be has to carry them.
The playoffs is not what the regular season is. So the way teams were playing, because we take nights off in the regular season. It's season. You can't afford out on a long season. You got to preserve some of that energy for the playoffs, especially when you're going deep into the playoffs every year. Because if you burn, that's when you get high risk for injury.
Which is why I'm saying that it's better for them to have played Isaiah Thomas, given LeBron the night off.
Even though it's a high risk for injury.
What does that? Listen, we're midway into the season.
It does matter because they're going to the playoffs.
I understand that. But here's what I'm saying. Even if you rest him right now, right? This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't care if LeBron plays, right? It doesn't matter. You got Dwayne Wade, you have other things. But you need to play Isaiah Thomas, because up until last week, that man wasn't practicing. He wasn't getting any drills in. A lot of his stuff was very organic stuff, meetings off season. Now, you will admit, having meetings off season, sitting down on your couch or on the bench, just like we do when we watch the games, does not help you, especially if you're Isaiah Thomas and you're going to be the Kyrie Irving replacement. You're going to be the reason they need you to be able to perform. Not saying that he won't be able to perform.
And that's the part that you missing too. It's not just him replacing Kyrie Irving. That's why they did a multiple player deal plus draft pick.
I mean, let's be real though. Jay Crowder is there to try and stop Kevin Durant. That's what Jay Crowder's there for. Jay Crowder's not going to give you offense.
No. He can get you boards though.
That's not your
great defense.
Kevin Love, yes, he's your right now. He's your second option, but as soon as Isaiah Thomas comes back, he goes back to being the third option. I like Kevin Love, but Kevin Love is not your.
No, we talking about Jay Crowder.
I understand that, but what I'm telling you this is Isaiah Thomas was the focal point of that trade. That trade was because of Isaiah Thomas, point guard for point guard, score for score. That's what they wanted. That's what they got. That's why he should have played. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying he should have played.
We're going to agree and disagree on this one.
I'm not saying he should have played just for playing. I'm saying he should have played for the chemistry stuff.
I hear you on that.
Because
it's a long season, though. They can get that chemistry. They don't have to. He doesn't have to play against his old former team for bragging rights. Oh, we beat Kyrie. Look, we better than Kyrie. Who gives a damn? We give a damn about rings. We don't care about bragging rights against Kyrie. The hell with Kyrie. Kyrie made his choice. Guess what? Kyrie.
Listen, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this: you need chemistry. Ask LeBron James about chemistry when they got destroyed by the Mavericks. Now listen, you need chemistry. This is what it is, man. When you weren't cleared to practice until last week, there's certain things that you can't simulate in practice. You can't simulate what Kyrie Irving. You can't simulate what DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry and them do. I want to see Isaiah Thomas in game situations.
So let me ask you this.
When he got hold up. When he got to go against people like that, because let's be real, man. He's been the focal point. LeBron James can do a lot for you. He can score. They both are scorers. I will give you that. I will give you that this team should go to the finals easily and then be destroyed by Golden State. I'll give you that. They probably will go to the finals. But I'm saying that all that is great. All that is good. Yeah, it doesn't.
Give me that. That's already proven, Colin.
Yeah, listen. It's not proven this year yet.
Okay.
Listen, I'll give you that. In the past, yeah. But this is a different East. This is a more tougher East. This is not the East of last 2 or 3 years ago. It's not that East anymore. Like if you give it the matchup, all right, let's take this potential matchup. The Sixers right now are about in 8th place. You really think they're gonna run over the Sixers?
Who?
The Cavaliers. Whoever.
Hell yeah.
You think
Are you serious? Are you talking about the same Sixers that lose the damn lead in every damn fourth quarter? Is that the same Sixers you're talking about?
Listen. I'm talking about you think with the way the East is currently right now, the tougher East, that's not giving anybody anything. You think that if they play the Sixers, whether they the number 1 seed or the 2 seed, if they see the Sixers 7th or 8th, this is just a matchup. You think that they're just gonna walk over and sweep the Sixers in the playoffs this year?
They may not sweep them. They're gonna get past them though. They may not sweep them. They're gonna get past them. Mark my words. They're gonna get past the Sixers.
I understand that they're gonna
get past. What the hell is Ben Simmons gonna do? Is he gonna shoot?
Listen. Here's what I'm asking you. Do you think that they're gonna have any easy matchup like they've had the last 4 years?
I didn't say it was easy. It's never easy for Cleveland.
This year.
It's never easy. Every game they play is a tough game. But guess what? They fight through. And guess what? They got proven players. There is something about players that's been there, done that, know how to turn it on and turn it off. Know when to drop game-winning shots. Don't forget who Dwayne Wade is. He got bad knees, yes. He can't last the whole season, yes. But guess what? When it come to winning time, Dwayne Wade show up. He don't disappear. Kevin Love shows up. He gets boards. He plays defense. He makes threes. He gets down there. He gets in the paint. He gets dirty. He gets rough. Listen, don't disrespect Cleveland, man. Just don't disrespect. Don't think they some old team that's getting. They not that old, Colin. They're not that old.
Listen, I'm not disrespecting the Sixers. You're not understanding here. I'm not disrespecting
Cleveland, not Sixers.
I'm not disrespecting Cleveland. What I'm saying is this: they need to let that man play, just like the Sixers need to let Markelle Fultz play. Everybody need to play.
That's my question for you.
Listen,
should Isaiah Thomas play for the rest of the season?
Yeah, why not? You can't. You have to remember they got rid of the whole giving people days off for no reason thing anymore. You playing unless you're injured, you're playing. They're not doing
How
that,
many teams do you think gonna listen to that?
huh?
You think Greg Popovich gonna listen to? You think Greg Popovich gonna listen to the
been
league and he's not gonna do his own thing?
He been listening so far.
Okay.
They changed the thing. You're not going to get rest no more. That's what last year was for. That's what they learned. You know the rule we talked about.
So why is the Sixers doing it? Why they keep pity packing with Joel Embiid and getting away with it?
Listen, Joel Embiid. I don't know why the Sixers keep doing what they doing, man.
Why they getting away with it? Why is the league?
The league.
Why they not finding him like crazy? Like, no, stop doing that. Let him play.
Listen, but as far as the Cleveland Cavaliers go, they're leading on the fact.
Answer my question, County.
What? I said I don't know why the Sixers get away with doing what they doing. I really don't.
Thank you.
He's getting a hand injury. I don't know why they keep giving it to him. I really don't. But as far as the big teams go, the Spurs, the Warriors, the Cavaliers, and everybody else, they don't want them being rested. That's why LeBron and the Wade have had to play unless they get a little nick or something, and then they don't play. But it's none of that this year. This is why I'm saying that every game counts. Whether they believe that Thomas needs to play. We can agree to disagree, but I'm going to tell you this. The chemistry stuff, as far as with Isaiah Thomas is the point guard. He's a defensive liability, but he's a point guard. They need him on the floor. He's there to make sure LeBron James doesn't wear himself out carrying Cleveland.
LeBron James.
And I like LeBron. He's there to be the Kyrie Irving and make sure that LeBron James doesn't wear himself out on the way to the finals. That's what he's there for. He's the Kyrie Irving. You agree, right? So they should be playing every game. Whether he's
I disagree because listen, he's not Kyrie Irving. He's being Isaiah Thomas, and Isaiah Thomas can score the same amount of points. That's what they want. They don't want those points to go away. They're not necessarily right. They didn't get Isaiah Thomas for his defense. They didn't get him for that. They got
I understand that.
But his ability to produce for his other team to dribble the lane up and kick the ball out so his other teammates can get an open shot.
And that's very understandable, Andre. But what I'm saying again is you can have all that, and I will grant you that. You can have that consistency, but I need you to play because you sitting on the bench will not help me come to playoffs. It won't. Like
we'll see that.
I understand that he's only played once this week, and it was off the bench, and he got 17 points without even trying. That's great, but that was against the second unit. I want to see you against starting lineups. I want to see this year's Isaiah Thomas, not last year's Isaiah Thomas. That's what you're basing everything off of last year. I want this year's Isaiah.
Are you under the notion that he can't do it?
No, I'm not under that notion that he can't do it. I'm talking about I want to see this year's Isaiah Thomas playing off of LeBron James. I want to see how he interacts with LeBron. I want to see.
And don't forget, Derrick Rose is still waiting in the wings too.
I want to see exactly. I want to see that lineup of Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, LeBron James. If that's what's going to be. This is the time when you start getting ready. Come the second half.
After the All-Star break is when you start getting ready. That's when teams turn it up.
Right, but we ain't there yet. So right now is when you show me what does Isaiah Thomas have. After we go off of a bad hip,
this is the time you just trade water.
Listen.
You lose some games here, you win majority of games, you lose a few games.
And nobody, I'm not disagreeing with losing, but I'd rather you lose showing me what Isaiah Thomas has right now, because if you wait until the playoffs, wait until after the All-Star break, you're sacrificing some things. This is what I'm saying. Like, I like him. I really do. I like LeBron and I like Isaiah Thomas. But I want to see him with the Cavaliers because I seen him with Boston when he had nothing. I want to see him not coming off the bench. I want to see him in the starting lineup. That's what I want to see.
I hear you.
You talk about how Kevin Love is going to turn it up. That's great, but Kevin Love don't have the ball in his hand. I want to see how that dynamic is going to work. Are they going to take turns bringing the ball up? Isaiah Thomas for everything that he likes. The reason he got that scoring and everything was because he could play with the ball. He was always guaranteed to get it back. I want to see what happens when he passes the ball and doesn't get it back. How does because all that you can be the man in the second unit. Can you be the man in the first unit with LeBron and Kevin Love? That's what I'm
I
saying.
believe so. Listen, if Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade could figure it out, when all of them were used to having the ball in their hands, correct me if I'm wrong, were all of them used to having the ball in their hands before they got together?
Nah. Dwayne Wade,
weren't.
James was, but not Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh didn't bring the ball up like LeBron and Dwayne Wade.
Well, I'm not talking about bringing the ball. I'm talking about used to having the ball in their hands. Used to being able to get a couple shots off.
Okay, but listen, I get you, but Chris Bosh was the third option. This is not the third option. This is 1A, 1B, 1-2. This is what this is. Isaiah Thomas should have played. And we can agree to disagree, but I'm just saying that you can't, to me, right? You can't be waiting, especially when you get no days off this week. This year. You can't be waiting. Like, I give it to
No, they
you.
get days off. They get days off this year.
Right, but I'm just saying when you don't get those games where you can just give everybody a rest day and play your scrubs. You're not getting that this year. You're going to either play unless you're injured. That's what the NBA wants this year.
Now resting people again,
and I'm glad they did that, but they need to. Hello.
Hi.
I still do. All right, turn your TV or whatever that is down, Matt.
Anyway, so I agree with you that we'll see, but like I said, I want to see him with the starting lineup, not coming in with Dwayne Wade in them because he won't be with Dwayne Wade in them come playoff time.
What do you think? I want to hear what Matt thinks. Matt, what you think? Ask him the question, Colin.
Here's what I think. Okay, first of all, I don't. Where were these? Where are we getting off on the fact that you gotta rest your star player for what? You've been paid to play the game. You paid to play 82 NBA games a season, plus the pro season, the playoffs. And my thing is simply, and I've said this before, why are you resting your stars? For what? I mean, risk of injury? What? I mean, I don't know what's going on here. My thing, personally, as far as I'm concerned, as an owner and as a businessman, I pay you to play the game and to get me championship. And you have to keep yourself in the shape that you're in to play 82 games to get said championship. Albeit so whatever. But again, it's no excuse. I don't know where we get these players from. I don't know who's. Thanks, San Antonio, for starting this nonsense. But as far as I'm concerned, this should not be even a discussion. I don't know why we're talking about this, but I don't know why the NBA even does this nowadays. I mean, all of a sudden we're taking our star players and putting them in bubble wrap. So this is silly. This is stupid. That's what I gotta say on that one.
All right, moving along because we went in on that one, Andre and I. Georgia versus Oklahoma analysis. Go ahead, Matt. You can start on that one. The Rose Bowl.
What about the Rose Bowl? You say? Oh, I have nothing to say on the Rose Bowl, to be honest with you, so I'll bypass that one.
All right, go ahead, Dre.
Unfortunately, I'm in the same boat. I don't really follow college. I need to start following it since we're gonna be talking about it. But it's on you, Colin.
Cool. So that was a great game. Georgia versus Oklahoma. Georgia. Georgia was looking like they were down for the punch. I mean, like I said, it was their first game together. It was actually the first time in 100 years that they played each other. It was the first time that both Oklahoma and Georgia actually played each other. So that was unique, and I thought that was fun. It took Georgia 75 years to get back to the Rose Bowl. It was a game, man. It was a thriller. It took 2 overtimes, block field goal, and a touchdown run. Like, it was everything that you would want in a playoff game, and it was great. To be honest, it was great to see Georgia win, and they get basically a home game against Alabama next come Monday, and hopefully the right team will win, which should be Georgia, because I'm so sick of Alabama winning. And that is what it is. So I guess it'll just be me covering Alabama and Clemson again. So Alabama and Clemson, Alabama was trying to prove that they belong. I still don't believe they belong, whether they win the championship or not. But they won 20-6. They took their time, learned their lesson, licked their chops, and destroyed Clemson. They did what you're supposed to do when you see a team 4 times in 4 years. So, I'm sorry, 3 times in 3 years. They beat them up, and that's what you're supposed to do. I believe that is, and that's a tough one to swallow. So we're just gonna rosy on through then that. But Matt missed a couple of things. So Matt, you missed your favorite topic. So I'm gonna go back to the top on you. So give me your opinion on the Fire and Fury book. Is this the beginning of the end for Trump?
Y'all been waiting for me to talk about Trump all night. Look, I don't know what's the beginning nor the end of anything. I don't know what's the beginning of the end. Look, I said this earlier. I'll say it again. Everybody knew what they voted for. Everybody knew what this man was and capable of doing, and yet we make politics like as if it's a spectator sport. Oh, my team is the Republican. Look, to answer your question, I don't know if it's the end or not. I mean, we make all the time we say, well, this is the end here, and something comes up. At this point, we don't know. Nobody knows. I mean, he's looking for the most incriminating evidence. It's right in that book, but who knows what Manafort's going to do? So, at this point, we don't know. I don't know, and I've had it up to here. It's just we are now in 2018. I can't wait for November already. So, I don't even know. I really don't.
All right, Matt. Well, one more, and then we can go to our Sixers. What about you? Saw the Patriots thing? What you think about that? I think we jumped the gun, but here it is. So are the Patriots about to break up because of this feud between the big three of Brady, Belichick, and Kraft? Go ahead.
Oh, why? No. Those three has to work. If you know business, and being up in Gillette Stadium, right? It's a nice place to go. Right next to that stadium, something but businesses and everything. They've been making money. So if I were the owner, you gotta work it. You gotta work it, And I don't see them breaking up anytime soon at this point, with the exception of Brady retiring, which I don't know. He must have drank the fountain of youth somewhere and not telling nobody. But no, it's not the end. I mean, look, we all hate the Patriots in some capacity, but I gotta respect him on the fact that him, Belichick and Robert. I gave money to Trump Kraft that they have been a model of consistency and success. Why would you break that up? Why would you want to, just rock the boat, if you will? I mean, it seems like everyone getting paid, but I think according to the Patriots, they say nah, everything's cool. So I'm gonna roll with that. Everything's cool, everything's cool.
Okay. And we need to do our national title game predictions. Guys, Alabama, Georgia. What's your pick? I'm going with Georgia. It's their home game. They should be up for it. Georgia has, to me, the best defense, and they have a really good run game. So I think they'll be able to control the clock and get enough defensive stops to stop Alabama because, as I said, this is the weakest Alabama team I've ever seen Alabama have. So, I mean, they're strong on defense but poor on offense. So, I believe that Georgia should win because the game is in Atlanta, which is in Georgia. So, Georgia should win and get a more updated title. Because I think the last time they won a title, a national championship in football, was in the 80s. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was in the 80s or early 90s. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm going to take Georgia. I'm going to take Georgia because I agree with Colin. I agree with you. It is the weakest Alabama team we have seen. Very weak. So and I rarely take up on your side of things, but I really think one is home. It's a home field, and two, being as a home field, I really think that I really think they do have a chance. I really do. This is not the best Alabama team that we've seen in as far as Nick Saban's team is concerned. So I'm sticking with Alabama. And oh, by the way, I'm sick and tired of SEC running things as far as this playoff thing is concerned. It's driving me insane. Although I'm a Gamecocks fan, and I'm in LSU territory. So there.
I'm about to agree with you, fellas. I'm gonna say Georgia. We're just going to bring it home at home. And from the footage I've seen from Alabama, like you guys said, they're not as strong as they used to be. I think Georgia's going to put their thing there. Colin?
Okay, and following Matt up on that, was UCF robbed of a championship opportunity? Yes, they were. They're the only unbeaten team in college football. And just on that alone, if merit is supposed to count, if record is supposed to count, and I say record in quotes because if record counted, Alabama wouldn't be in the playoffs. But we can't have the evil empire not in a college football playoff. That's just unheard of, right? But UCF is 13-0.
Reminds me of the Patriots.
They beat Auburn, who beat both Alabama and Georgia. So for all intents and purposes, that was the national title game because if Auburn was strong enough to beat Alabama and Georgia and UCF beat Auburn, that makes them the best team in the NCAA. To me, because they're 13-0, they have a better record than both teams playing for the title game, and they should have had the opportunity to face all four of those teams that were in the playoffs. But they didn't get it because they play in the American Conference, which nobody cares about outside of basketball. But that's a shame that it's not a playoff system is almost as bad as the BCS system. I know Matt's probably wanting to slap me for even saying that, but It is because, as he just said, the SEC should not be running things. Like the SEC had no right having two teams in the playoffs this year. The only team in the SEC that deserved to be there was Georgia because they were the champion. They beat Auburn. They were the champions. That's it. Alabama, I said this off air. I'll say it right here on air. Crimson Tide Nation, if you want to come at me, at Kyler W. Watson, so I can tell you to your face on Twitter that you have a weak team. You have no right to have a team there. UCF, by way of record, by way of merit, deserves to be in there. Matt, go ahead.
I got caught up in a little something. Please remind me what you were yapping about and almost trying to cuss somebody out with.
UCF is a football team. They are 13-0. They just beat Auburn in the
bowl. This is where I have a problem. We talked about this last year. We talked about that Penn State should have been in the playoff discussion, but they got robbed. UCF got robbed too. I'm sorry. If you are 13-0, and you know full darn well you have proved yourself to be one of the top college football teams in the country, you should have every right in that conversation. Why in the world would I really do believe there's too much favoritism going on in this piece. I really do. Because here you go, right? I forgot what Alabama's record is. But even to where 14 is not enough. It really is not enough. I'm sorry to tell you. 14 is not enough. And all those 14s, there's too much of a debate whether who should be in and who should be out. Strength of schedule, strength of conference, this, that. Look, Division 2, Division 3, got it right. There's a playoff system, clear-cut winner, in the story. This nonsense, this D1 nonsense, I don't know what this is anymore, but UCF got robbed. I didn't watch a whole lot of college football this year, but for what I've seen, it's a very complete football team, and they got screwed over. They got robbed, and that's it. That's it. You can sit here and make the case for all the other undefeateds around the country, and the argument is there should be in the playoff, let alone a legitimate bowl game. But it's a travesty. It is nonsense. So in my argument, there should be 8 teams right now for this thing called a playoff. Take your 4 bowls, boom. That's it. 2 more bowls, boom. National championship, bang. We're good to go. After that, whatever. So I'm over it. I'm over it. So if y'all want to say something, hit up at Small Red Horn, because as far as I'm concerned, UCF got screwed.
Go ahead, Andre.
Another one I don't really keep up with, so I'm about to catch up on this. Go ahead, Calvin.
All right, well, listen, they can come see at Small Red Horn and at Colin W. Watson, because Tide Nation, by virtue of the fact that your team was the 4th seed, that means that everybody else had to move out the way for Alabama. You don't deserve to be there. I don't care what championship you get, if you win it or if Georgia wins it. There's a team that's 13-0 that deserved the shot at the SEC's best, at the Big 12's best, and at the ACC's best, but didn't get it because they went to UCF and their names weren't Clemson, Oklahoma, Alabama, or Georgia. And out of all of them, the only one that's good at overall sports and is not just a good at one sports school is Oklahoma. Fight me, Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson. Fight me. At Kyler W. Watson. Fight me. I'm ready to throw shots at everybody. Fight me. Fight me. So, that's where we are now. Oh, Matt, go ahead and give your wild card picks too. So tomorrow is Saints Panthers. I already know who you're gonna pick on that one. Chiefs and Titans. Sunday is Bills Jaguars and what's the NFC? Oh, I missed one. And the Rams Falcons on Saturday. Saints Panthers on Sunday. Jags Bills on Sunday. Yeah, wild card weekend. Go ahead.
All right. Saints is going to win over the Panthers, though I don't want that. Rams is going to. Oh Lord, Rams going to win, and the Saints is going to win. Jaguars. That's a toss-up between Bills and Jags. I'm going to take the Jaguars in this one. And which was it? Kansas City and Kansas City. Who else?
Titans.
Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee. On that one, I'm taking and that's a toss-up. I'm saying Jaguars on this one.
Yeah, you were the only one to go Tennessee, man. In this whole podcast, the only one to go Tennessee.
I'm sorry. I mean, the Bills are inconsistent. I'm sorry. I can't. No,
you talk about the Chiefs.
Oh,
talk about the Chiefs.
Oh God, the Chiefs look horrible. I mean, I love Andy Reid. I love Big Red, but they just don't look good to me. Sorry. I'm not sorry.
All right, man. Well, now we're gonna get you to get 94 WIP, and the rest of the crazies mad at you. First off, why is everybody down the Eagles? Then after that, should the Eagles just let Nate Sudfeld play? And then we'll get to the Sixers.
Let me tell you this right now. Watch this. I've listened to WIP. Yeah, I've listened to WIP here. Okay. Look. Everybody, shut up. Be patient. We got 2 weeks to get this. We got about a week and a half to get this right. Okay. We're fine. We're gonna be okay. In fact, Tony Dungy put out a tweet saying, "Look, Nick Foles is gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We got a good defense. Okay. Now, remember, they gotta come to home. They gotta come here. They gotta come to Philly first. They gotta come to Philly anyway. Don't worry about it. Just relax. We need to survive 2 games, 2 weeks. We need to survive two, if not 3 weeks right now, just to get to where we got to go. We just need to survive. Hang on, chill. We're going to be fine. We see what Sudfeld can do. We've been here before. Do not get hyped over the backup of the backup. In this case, number 3. Don't do it. We've been here before. So, if we've learned our lesson, and I hope all of Philadelphia has, do not, I repeat, you do not want your number 3 QB in a playoff game right now. I don't care what you feel. I don't care what you think. The bottom line is, yes, Nick has struggled, okay? We've seen this. It's been putrid. It's been bad. I've watched the same game you have. But just 2 weeks, now week and a half, to get it right. And we hope that the offense is working the way it's supposed to work, and the running game is working the way it's supposed to work. Keep your britches on and chill. We're going to be fine. just relax, shut up, watch the damn game, and just be happy in the fact that we are going to win this game, whoever we play. We're going to be fine. Just relax.
All right, Matt, and then we'll go with this one because it's almost actually doesn't even matter. Should Markel? Okay, Matt. Should they let Markel Fultz play? Now, Andre,
Yes.
this is the
Yeah.
question that Andre and I agreed on before you started arguing with the next question with Isaiah Thomas. But should Markel Fultz play, or should the Sixers just redshirt him like they do with everybody else?
No. Let him play. Look, if he's healthy enough, right? And we're like ninth in the conference right now. He's healthy enough to play. Keep them limited, okay? If he's healthy enough, let him play. We're done redshirting. We don't need to redshirt another player. We redshirted Nerlens. We redshirted. We're done. We're done. If it's that serious, fine. Another year of the process will do. But we're done. We're done with that. No, we got one more for next year. We're done. But still, let him play. Yes, he looks good in practice, but if he's good enough for a game, let him play.
All right, now that we're done recapping, all right, guys, the Sixers are finally 500. They just destroyed the Detroit Pistons again. So there might be an 8th place right about now. I don't know. Maybe by the end of the night
They're
there'll be an
tied.
8th. Okay, they're tied for 8th place. There you go. Right now, which is better than last year. So, have the 76ers hit their peak, or do they have some growing to do? And yes,
Whoa. First of all, they got a lot of growing to do in the first place. I mean, what kind of question is that? I mean, they hit their peak. They hit their peak. That means
I was
like
saying the same thing.
we hit their peak. We're not even halfway through the season yet. You talking about they hit their peak? Have you lost your mind? Have you lost any brain cell that you came up with these questions? I mean, come on, bro. Talking about hit their peak, dude.
listen.
We have not.
All I do is craft the questions, and they go where they go.
Look,
It's a stupid question, but it gets a reaction out of you. Therefore, it's not a
Take
stupid
it
question.
easy, man. Yes, the man didn't got any brain cells when he came up with this question. Take it easy, man.
look. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something right now. The first thing is simply this. Why do you think this is called the process? Okay, we are in the process. We are trusting the process. We have a player who wants to be nicknamed the process. This is a process. We haven't seen it in this team at full capacity. And you're talking about if they hit their peak? Dude, this is a process. This takes time. And you tell me, it's like saying, well, this is as far as it goes, so it's down here from here. Really?
All right, Matt. Sixers. Is this? All right. I don't know what better way to ask the question. So, are you happy with the Sixers' progress so far? How about that? Is that a better question for you, Mister? I kill questions. It's just a question, Matt.
Look. I'm messing with you, but
are you happy with the process so far, man? This is gonna be a happy 2018 for the Sixers. Yeah.
I'll say it again. This team is going to the playoffs. End of story. How far they go? We don't know. But this team is going to the playoffs. I guarantee it. This team is going to the playoffs. I guarantee it.
All right, you heard it here first. You can play it back because all these podcasts are saved on the channel, so you will definitely can play that back. And at Small Red Horn, if that doesn't happen, but I kind of agree with them. They're in 8th place right now. I'm very happy with the process. And do I believe, to go back to the previous question, do I believe that they have hit their peak? Obviously not, because they're still up until Christmas Day when they started on this 4-game winning streak. They were blowing leads, and now they're learning how to win, and B, to start to play. I hope they could let him play back-to-backs. Andre and I were talking about that. He needs to play every game from now until the season ends. No more business restrictions. No more, oh, we're too scared for him. We don't want him playing back-to-backs. This man has $150 million invested in him. This team does better when Embiid is on the court. Let him play. Let Markelle Fultz play. No, this team needs to learn how to win, and they need to do it together with their two alphas on the court. With all three of their alphas on the court. You know that? And that's where it is, man. They have a lot of growing to do. And am I happy with the process so far? Yeah, they're in 8th place right now. They'll potentially have 2 All-Stars between Simmons and Embiid, and I'm relatively happy with the process. Ben Simmons is everything I thought he'd be, if not more. And Joel Embiid is improving in his sophomore season. I know it's not really his sophomore season, but, in his sophomore season, I'm happy. I'm happy with it so far. I hope it continues, and I hope with Markelle Fultz coming back, somebody can get a shot and take the pressure off JJ Redick. Go ahead, Andre.
The question. Yeah, I was like back on the question. I was like, what? That don't make sense to me. Have the Sixers hit their peak, or do they have some growing to do? Well, obviously, they got growing to do. Been in the league all but 2 minutes, including Embiid. This is his second year. He still doesn't get to play a full 83 or 82 games, whatever. 82 games this season, because they're so afraid of him getting hurt, and he's worth so much money. Shut up. I'm so sick of hearing that. Right? Let the man play. We got him so he can play, not so he can ride nobody pine. And they just... I'm not happy with the progress so far, because I know they can be better, and they will be better. If they... First of all, we got to get a better coach. We got to get a coach that stays on them and doesn't ease up on them. It's nothing wrong with you being a player's coach, but when players are doing what they want to, they're coming late to meetings and stuff like that, that's unacceptable. No, we're not going to allow that. Brett Brown. I think Brett Brown needs to go, honestly. You can't... How many fourth quarters are you going to lose before we say, you know what, alarm, something is wrong, we got to make a change? I still think it's ridiculous that Ben Simmons can't shoot, and he won't shoot because he's afraid he's going to miss. That's a confidence issue, and if he has confidence issues, you need to get him a veteran player that can school him. All right, look, here's a crazy idea. Why not get Ray Allen and pay Ray Allen to work with him? Ray Allen produced his shot to be a great shot. He was a good shooter. Then he turned to a great shooter. So I'm sure that he can help him. Shoot, get Reggie Miller. Get somebody, man. But the Sixers definitely have some more growing to do. I'm not happy with the progress so far. It's cool that the AC right now, but we'll see how that ends up in the end of the season. Yeah, your position never stays the same, because unless you're one of the top tier teams, and 9 times out of 10, you'll be wherever you're at. Like, you're in the top 5, you'll stay in the top 5. Unless you guys just haven't fallen out or it's hurt. And, the role players are trying to make up for the slack now. The Sixers need to do better, and they can do better. You got to let everybody play, though, to do better. No, we saved them for next year. Nothing. Let everyone play. All right, Colin.
All right, y'all. That was our podcast. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I mean, you know, we got very animated towards the middle of it.
First one of the year, 2018, baby.
You had a good we had a good podcast, man. It was good to argue. It was good to get it all out there and just do it, man. This is the first podcast of 2018. Hopefully we'll have a full roster as we start making our transition from Friday nights to Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. Probably starting not this coming week, but then the following week. The weekend after MLK Day. It's still early in the year, so we can make that transition and not really hurt the viewership. Yeah, I want to thank Andre. I want to thank Matt for coming through. I want to thank Amina for coming through. As I said, the people, we should be getting a fuller cast as we make this transition. Get Trey back, get Courtney back in the fold, get everybody back in. The Saturday just ends up. Hopefully, it will end up working out better for everybody. But we're man, first podcast of 2018. We're live. We're ready. Playoffs are coming up, and you know it's gonna be great, man. And I want to thank everybody for coming through. And I can't wait to see what 2018 holds for this podcast and our growth personally on the podcast and outside of it. So, you know, have a great weekend. If you are on the East Coast, stay warm. We still got a couple more days of this bitter cold. I know Matt's in Shreveport. I know it's cold down there too. We're all cold. So everybody stay warm. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the sports. Enjoy your weekend. And happy first weekend of 2018. Have a great time. Deuces.